On the edge.
If I compare myself to anyone, not just to her, but to anyone, then I will not go anywhere, you know? Like, that's not like why I play even. I play because I love the sport.
In this episode, I welcome Melanie Diaz. She is a player from Puerto Rico and part of a big table tennis family. She started from nothing and is now a successful athlete and a pure soul who makes her country proud. She will tell us her story from the beginning, but also about her relationship with her family and her choice to be vegan.
My parents were like, they were always pushing us to believe in ourselves, but we didn't have any money at all. Like, we were horribly poor.
Hello, Melanie.
Hi, Mari. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah, thank you. Welcome to On the Edge podcast, the second one. So I'm very happy that you accepted my invitation. Actually, we are in your home.
Yeah.
We should do it in the hall, but
yeah.
I feel here is more cozy. So
Yes.
Thank you for that. How are you?
I am good. I'm looking forward to doing this with you. So yeah. And you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm a bit stressed, because it's always like stressful to do an interview. I'm not used to it usually.
Yeah.
But I think it will be good. So first, I will let you introduce yourself. You can introduce yourself the way you want, who you are, what is your age, what you are doing in life.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I am Melanie Diaz. I am 27 years old. I am Puerto Rican, but I'm actually right now living in Czech Republic. I'm playing league here. So yeah.
And you have family. You have three sisters.
Yeah, I have three sisters. I'm the oldest one, even though nobody believes me when I say I'm the oldest. And we were six. So yeah, and all my family plays table tennis.
Yeah. So you are Puerto Rican, but how did you land with a table tennis racket? I mean, in Puerto Rico, I don't know if there is many table tennis player, or now at least there is, but I don't know before.
Yeah. So it started when my father was like in some basketball court, and they had there like a ping pong table.
Yeah.
And then he started like playing every day, and then he asked for it on Christmas, and then my grandma bought it for them as Christmas present, and since that time they started like practicing the sport. That's how my parents met actually. And my father became a coach shortly after that. So when we were born, we were like going with him to the club, and then we started training.
So he bought a table, and that's how your parents met in some way. And
sort of, yeah.
Yeah, and did you like it, or like did you try other sports?
I was never into any other sport. I think maybe I showed interest in gymnastics, but I'm very happy that I didn't go that way. I always liked table tennis since I was a kid, especially because I got to spend more time with my father after he came home from work. We would go together there, so I think it was like something nice to do together.
And what he was doing before, your father?
He was working in an office, like government office.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then he would come home, and then we would all go to the club, like all the family would go there, and then we would just like have fun.
Okay, you were the first one to come, and then Adriana came the third, right?
The third, yes.
The third. Second is
Gabriela.
And the fourth?
Fabiola.
And you all play, it's amazing. So how was the situation when you started to play table tennis? Did you have money, or... Because now, I mean, you became so famous and you are so good, like everybody. So how did it start, everything? Yes.
Well, to be honest, my parents were like, they were always pushing us to believe in ourselves, but we didn't have like any money at all. Like, we were horribly poor, like to the point where sometimes we would eat potatoes like 3 days in a row for dinner. Oh. Like, we really didn't have any money. My mom changed job many times because they were young parents, So it wasn't easy. Many times we were selling chocolate, cakes, or I would literally go to places asking for money so I could travel. So it wasn't an easy road. And at some point, my mother quit her job and she said, like, I want to study to become a lawyer.
Oh.
And my father told her, like, don't do this. Like, we cannot afford it right now. And she was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So the next day she quit her job and she became a lawyer.
Okay.
So this for us was like a very big example of like not quitting and not giving up. But it wasn't easy in the beginning. It was very tough for us.
Yeah. And you could still play, like you had new rackets, or did you get any balls, or did you get, how was the hall where you practice?
Mm-hmm.
Was it more for fun in the beginning? Was it more you wanted to become pro, or what was your mindset, when you were a kid?
Well, we didn't even knew how it was to be a pro because that has never happened before in table tennis, like in Puerto Rico. So we had one racket and that would be it for like the next 2 years, maybe the same one, same rubbers. We didn't know much about it. And the hall where we were training, it had like 2 tables and one was like against the wall, like no space at all. But then with time we like the government and just like everything was building up for us, like working good for us to like succeed in the sport.
Yeah. And did you have sparring partners, or were you practicing only with your father and your sisters?
I actually started at the same time with Daniele.
Yes.
Rios.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is why like we met when we were like 5 years old and we were going to the club. We were most of the time just speaking and playing around. Like we didn't take it seriously because we were 5 years old. Like there's nothing serious, at that age. Yeah. But with time we started like getting more into it, like every day, like getting more serious about it.
Okay. So you were the first, let's say, family and people who really became professional in Puerto Rico. Before it was not real table tennis player, like professional, or was it?
It was sort of like growing.
Okay.
But I think after around maybe 2014. It started like getting like more popular.
Okay, so you became better and better at which age? When did you start to feel like, okay, there is something to do in this sport? When did you feel it?
I think I was 15 or 16 there was a cadet challenge, but it was played like after. So I think I was maybe 16 or 15 something, and it was in Puerto Rico. You were there also.
This is the first time I met you.
Yeah.
Adriana and your father too.
Exactly. And there I had a very like good tournament, and then I was like, after this, I decided to do homeschool and be like training every day and not going to regular school.
Okay, because I remember the hall was nice.
Yeah.
The hotel was nice.
Yeah.
And the conditions were good. So in this time you already had better conditions for practice. You had maybe 2 rackets, not only one.
Yeah.
So course. You were like, you were growing, yes, as a professional player in this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were gaining like popularity as a sport, and we always got like a lot of support.
Yes, and the support you got a lot from your federation, or how did it work?
Yeah, our federation was supporting us a lot. Also, like the government played their part, and then like along the way came like the sponsors. But this, at least for me, it came when I was 21 or 22.
So pretty late.
Yeah,
I saw that earlier.
Yeah,
okay.
No. Okay. For me, it came like at 21. I got my first official like sponsor when I was 20.
Okay.
Like non-table tennis related.
Yeah.
And then after this, it started like growing more.
How do they support the athletes in Puerto Rico? And you also had to go away from Puerto Rico, I guess, to practice or to play some matches. So how did you leave the country and start living maybe a different life than you were knowing before?
So my first training away was in China. For this was one of the times when I was like actually like knocking on doors, like asking people for money so that I could go. And I got a lot of support from my city in Utuado. So I went to China like one month.
1 month?
Yeah.
You were how old? How old were you?
I was maybe 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the first time you went out of Puerto Rico?
Yeah. No, like to train.
To train?
Yeah.
In China?
In China.
That's hard, I think.
It was very hard.
It's a different thing there. Okay.
Yeah.
I left to Japan also when I was 15, and I also needed money to go to live for 1 year.
Yeah.
And it was not nothing. Yes, it was quite a lot of money. And then I continued to be out of France, but I don't know how it's working in Puerto Rico. Yes, your family was becoming a bit more famous, or
I think we started getting like more publicly known after Central American Games in 2014.
Okay.
And then like it was a little bit easier. We had more help, of course, from the Olympic Committee.
Yeah.
And of course the government, the federation also, like they were always helping us a lot, and they were supporting us and the trip. So for this I am very grateful. We always felt supported by them in this. So it was good. Of course, after these games came our first Pan American Games in 2015, and we also got a bronze medal there. So this also helped us a lot for the next years, like to get even more like support for us, like that we could go away and travel and play.
And what is the relation with your dad? I mean, he's your coach, he's your dad. Your sister Adriana is playing on a very high level too.
Yeah.
How do you deal with him? Maybe that, I mean, I could not imagine that my dad is my coach too, especially today.
Yeah.
So
I think he is one of the best people I know. Like really, he is an amazing human being, and I don't separate it. Like I don't see him like in the hall he's my coach, and then when I'm home he's my dad. I don't see it like that. I see it mixed, and that's actually, I cannot do anything about it. I will always see him like this, both coach and dad. But I like it. I like our relationship. Even when I have a problem, I always know that I can count on him.
yeah.
So yeah,
And he was always your coach.
he was always my coach.
You never had any other coach,
I
right?
was working for like 2 years or 3, also with Brian's dad.
Yeah.
Because at that time my father was still working in a regular job, so he couldn't be with me all day, and Brian's dad could. So I was with him for a while my father could like stop having like this regular job, and then he could like come and join us.
Yeah. And he was also following Adriana.
Yeah,
at the
but
same time?
he never stopped coaching Adriana. Like Adriana was going to regular school when she was like younger, and then she would train at night with my father like 3 hours.
You always lived in Puerto Rico, or did you also live somewhere else?
No.
Living, like really living.
No, this is actually, in Puerto Rico it's normal that you stay with your parents until you get married.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not normal that you go like earlier, because here I see like it's coming at 18, you just go.
Yeah.
But there is just not what it happens, you know. So I was living with my parents until I was 27.
Okay.
And I actually moved last summer here to Czech Republic. So this is my first like experience living far away from them.
So before, actually, you were always going to tournaments and then back. Tournaments, training camps, and then back to...
Exactly.
Okay. How do you deal with the jet lags?
For me, like I am quite used to it, to be honest. But the hardest part for me is always when I come to Europe.
Yeah.
But if I go to Asia, then it's easier. If I go back home, it's easier. Or, you know, Latin America is fine. But then in Europe, I always take like 3-4 days.
Because you came back from Pan American Cup few weeks ago, and you told me you came back in the night, and in the morning you were ready on the practice. So I was like, yeah, okay, this girl is motivated, and you know, jet lag doesn't matter. She's just going all the time. I was surprised because I was always need, let's say, 1 or 2 days to adapt to the time, you know.
Yeah.
So I was wondering how you do it, because I think you are more used to travel around like continents.
Yeah.
I mostly stayed in Europe only for big events. I went once to North America, I went to Puerto Rico, but I never really went back to, you know, to anywhere. So that's brave, I would say.
Thank you.
How do you adapt to this life, to this European life, and how is it different from Puerto Rico? I mean, you have these vibes in Latin America that actually I have no idea about those vibes, but I think the culture is much different. So
it is.
How you would compare it? Or
Well, first of all, I love Czech. I love living here. The people are nice, kind. This I like. But in Puerto Rico, we are more expressive. I think we're more like warm in this way. So I miss this a little bit. When I miss the like people being expressive, or like maybe singing more, or like, you know, this happy vibes.
Yes.
We always get it. Like if we're driving, then you hear the music, or you see someone outside and then they like say hello to you from, I don't know, their houses when they see you passing by, you know. So this, I would say, is like the biggest difference here. People are more quiet, more serious. Doesn't mean that it's bad, it's just like different. Yeah.
I've always seen you in tournaments with your team, and I mean, you are these dancing types, and it can be scary for European people because you look like happy, and you know, and you show it. And sometimes I think like us, we are a bit closing ourselves. Even when you see it, you are like, no, I don't feel that, you know. I don't want to show more of myself. So
this for us is very different, because for us is the type like, if you're happy, then why not to show it?
Yes.
You know, and then it's like, it feels like you make other people, this is how we think, you make other people being happy if you're happy, you know, because then you come, maybe you make like some joke, or then like with your smile, you know, like we like this, we never hide how we're feeling inside, and I truly enjoy this.
Okay, so did you miss it in Europe?
I miss it a lot.
Miss it, yes. You have, I think, strong friendship in your country. And you are mostly far from them and from your family, or your sister is in Tokyo, and I mean Adriana, because you have three of them, but your dad is also far. So do you miss it?
I miss my family a lot. I think we're very close to each other. So of course I miss the noise. We were 6 growing up, so there's always like a lot of noise, there's always someone doing something. My family, in my opinion, is very funny, so I'm always laughing. And then let's say one is not in the mood, but the other 4 are in the mood, so you just go with them, you know. So this I miss like the noise, most of it.
Yes. And did you go out already in Czech, or like out like for party, or did you ever try to go out here?
To be honest, I'm not like disco girl.
Okay.
But I do like you know, going for a restaurant, maybe to cinema, like this calm stuff. And this I've done already, and I love it. I have a lot of fun. But in disco, I've never had like you know, fun. But not even in my country, not in any country.
This is you, this is you. So you are famous in your country, in Puerto Rico. How do you deal with that? Your image is also very important. You are taking care of it. Do you like it also?
I do like it. Of course, we never like do these things for social media or anything. I do like to feel the support. Like when we win, I know that they celebrate so much. For me, it's nice to see when we're winning something important, people like record their family like cheering for us, and then they send it to us. And I think like this is very nice, because we feel like they have our back when we win, but also when we lose. We also have like people saying like, it doesn't matter, like we're here for you, you know. And I think like it matters to me a lot, because I can feel their like presence like closer to me.
So you are playing also for them, right?
100%.
100.
Yeah.
Do you play for you as well?
I do. Actually, when I started playing like more for me, then I started getting like better results, like in 2019 when we got like gold medal in doubles, in teams, and then also like in singles. This was in the Pan American Games in Lima.
You got third, right?
Yeah. So
was it the best moment, or the best result you felt like in your body and mind, that it was like so good? Or what's the best?
Yeah, I would say it's tough, because when I qualified to the Olympics was also quite an emotional moment. But I would say this one, I got to share it with the people I started this with. In the Olympics, of course, I was very happy, extremely happy, but it was me. It was singles. So it was just like me celebrating for me in that moment in Lima. It was like I was celebrating with Daniele, with Adriana, with my father. My mom flew, so she was there as well. Gabriela was there. Fabi was watching. So I think like this moment was more special because I got to share it with them.
I think this is the most powerful thing, and sport is giving us that. You can share all the emotions, the good or the bad. My best memories is also team events in France, in my close to my main city, to my home city.
Yeah.
So I can relate to your feelings. So you've played one Olympic Games,
Yeah,
right?
Tokyo.
In Tokyo.
Yeah.
How was it there? It was the COVID time, so
Yeah.
maybe a bit different. But how was it in the Puerto Rico village? You know,
Yeah.
I'm curious about that.
Yeah, so we were sharing actually the building with China. So it was very nice atmosphere. It was a shame that it was in COVID time because after we lost, we had 1 day or 2 days to go,
Yeah.
and that I feel like that was a little bit unfair. I
Yeah.
wanted to stay there, support my sister, and you know, just live the experience because you work for it, you know. So you just want to live it like the whole thing. But I had to go, which was a shame. I was very sad, but
Yeah.
overall it was amazing.
And how is it for Paris 24? Are you in now or
We have the Olympic qualifications in May,
okay?
so I'll try my best.
Yes, good luck for that.
Thank you.
I want to speak about Adriana, your sister. Did you, because she was top 10 in the world in some points,
Yeah.
always very talented, always like number one in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
How did you live this relationship? How did it impact yourself and maybe your family? Or yes,
That
Were
she
you-
was
were
good.
you were you
Mhm.
jealous or whatever?
Okay.
Like
Mhm.
if you can speak about it.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so I was never jealous of my sister. I was never angry at her. It was a little bit tough when I was growing up, when I was like maybe outside and people would come to me and say something. Maybe they didn't know that it would affect me, but it did. So I never understood, you know, why
Modern
they
people.
would compare me with my sister just because we're sisters, you know, because I never lived that in my house. Like my parents never compared us, so I never experienced that until we started becoming like more popular in Puerto Rico. So I was always thinking like, you can have 2 kids and you can raise them exactly the same way and they will still be completely different. Then
Yeah.
what is the difference here, you know?
Yeah.
Like I don't need to feel less because she's having more success. Like I have my own career, and if I compare myself to anyone, not just to her but to anyone, then I will not go anywhere, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Like that's not like why I play. Even I play because I love the sport, and my worth will not go up, like will not be like more if I win, and it will not be less if I lose. Like this is a sport that I do,
Yeah.
and my parents are not gonna love me less if I
Yes,
lose
yes,
or
yes,
anything. So yeah, that's it. I just do it because I love it. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to like enjoy this, and that's it.
I love it. This is amazing answer. Thanks
Thank
a
you.
lot, really. As you said, you were raised differently. I mean, you are different persons, and
Mhm.
you can see it in your game style. You have a pimple in forehand. She has this hand, let's say,
Mhm.
creative hand.
Mhm.
And yeah, you never try to play like her, and she never tried to play like you. Like you have your own game.
Mhm.
You can see it also in the sport. So yeah, I think that's very good.
Yeah. Our parents always like they saw how we were, like, you know, we got our own style since we were like very young, and they just like took that and then worked with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's clever.
Yeah.
That's clever. So you are playing actually the second year in Czech League.
Mhm.
You never played league before
Never.
in any country.
Never. No.
So how is it? Because it's more matches, yes, once a week, let's say, or
Mhm.
maybe once every 2 weeks. Do you like it? Do you like the system? And how does it help you?
Yeah, like I was overall very surprised when I got here because the level is higher than I thought. And normally, you know, we feel this pressure when we go out like for WTTs or for like international competitions.
Yeah.
So you feel it there, and then sometimes you travel far and then you cannot deal with it quite good, and then maybe you go in first round. But like now here, you deal with it here, and then like you get this match feeling every weekend. So it helps a lot, you know, to feel like more ready and more prepared for next matches. So I really, really like it.
And are you a match type or a practice type?
I
Do
think
you like it? Do you like to play many matches?
Before, I didn't like to play many matches, I would say. I was more the practice type, but now I enjoy more matches.
Okay, so that's good then if you play the league because you have more matches.
Yeah.
Okay, and do you plan to stay here more often, like more in the future? Or do you...
At least for next year, I
Yeah.
think I'm gonna be here. Who
Okay.
knows what can happen after, but at least for 1 more year, yes.
Yes, okay. In Europe, we see a lot of differences between men
Yes.
and women.
Mm-hmm.
Men have more than women. You
Yeah.
can see it on the practice, in the salary or everything. How is it in Puerto Rico?
It's completely different than
Yeah.
here. Yeah, like there is like equal for everyone. So of course when I get here and then like in all Europe, like I hear maybe the salary for women and then for men, and I just think like it's really unfair basically because we don't live it like that. Like there they treat women and men exactly the same.
Mhm.
So women there never think like, yeah, we should earn less, or yeah, we should be home cleaning, or you know, we should be doing this in the house and you know, taking care of the kitchen, you know, like this you don't hear it there.
Yeah.
So for me it's hard when I hear it here because I don't see it like normal thing.
Yeah, yeah.
So I wish that with time this can like change and then like be like a more modern
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this is changing like more like in Puerto Rico, for example, like this you don't hear at all anymore. So I just wish the same for Europe and all the world, honestly.
Yes, and during the training camps, let's say you have training camps in Puerto Rico, or you practice like together in the hall. Do you practice with men as well? Do you mix it, or is it more separate
No, we practice women and men
together?
Like, yeah, we have Dani, we have Naranjo, yeah, and we have 2 other boys who are not national team yet. I hope they are because they're very good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we always train like all together.
Okay. And how is the practice in Puerto Rico? How do you train? Because in Europe we have mostly morning, afternoon, 4 exercises, 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, mostly the same. If we are in the group, let's say, if we are individual, it's different. But yes, how do you work? Do you work individually? Do you have, how many coaches do you have there? Yes.
It's just for us, it's my father. We have more coaches in the hall, but it's like for other groups. So we train with my father, and normally we get there at 9.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like from 9 to 11:30. We always need to make physical, but sometimes it's with my father, or sometimes we can make it like by ourselves. But we need to tell him what we did.
Okay.
So it's like basically he gives us like this freedom, but we must say what
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah.
So it's like our choice. We can go before training to the gym, or we can go after, however we want. And then we have training again like at 2:30 until like 4:30 to 5, sort of.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's pretty similar like in Europe.
Yeah,
I mean,
similar.
Yeah. Okay. And did you ever work with a mental coach or for table tennis or not?
Yeah. I was working before with one, and it was really good because I was always like this nervous type.
Yeah.
I think I still am, honestly. Now I don't see it bad. Before I thought that this was like the biggest problem, but now I know that it's not. So
I feel like you take responsibility.
yeah,
You know, I feel like you take it on your back. You know, I didn't see you often, but
Yeah.
I've trained with you only twice
yeah.
this morning, for example, and I see like you care a lot. You
Yeah.
know, you yeah. Maybe it's also coming because you are the first kid of your family,
Yeah.
or I don't know, but I feel like yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And I care a lot also, so that shows in the game sometimes. But you need to know how to handle it because it can always like backfire. So basically for this, I was working with one, and it was really, really good.
Yeah. And did you work more like mentally or spiritually or like consciously, or did you maybe try to make meditation, or
Yeah.
how did you work with your mental coach, if you can say?
Yeah, when we were working together, she would give me like, for example, some techniques that I should do maybe before the match and during the match.
Yeah.
But of course, my father was also like helping there a lot. He always says like we need to like imagine ourselves playing, you know, and then he would like guide us with some meditations. This we do since we're like quite young, maybe
Okay.
since we're like 11, 12, he was guiding us.
Okay.
And but spiritually as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this I do like by myself, but I always tell my father everything that I do. So
Okay.
I tell him like I was doing this today, blah blah. We have a meeting almost every day, so I tell him what I'm doing here.
Okay.
So yeah.
So your father always had a big place in your table tennis life and in your life as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to see it in
Yeah.
some way,
Yeah.
and I hope you can also get detached of it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
how
I
to say.
understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you? Do you need him or?
I do,
You do.
100%.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Okay.
do. I need him.
Okay. Ah, it's so good that you say it like this. It's really good. All right. So, Melanie, you are vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
So I've always been like animal lover, and I had a dog that couldn't walk, and this was like the light of my eyes. Like I would do anything for her, and then one day I saw like a picture of a pig, and then I was like, I got angry, and then I was like, why are they doing this to this pig? And then I realized like, but you eat meat. They are doing this because you're gonna eat it.
Yeah.
So then I said like, okay, so I had a chicken wrap in my backpack, and I said I will eat this, and after this I'll be done with
Done.
meat. And
When
that's how
was
I
it?
did it.
When was it?
2018.
Okay, so
I was 21 maybe.
and you have a dream, right, to create a foundation for animals?
An animal sanctuary?
Yes.
Yes, I do. That's like my biggest dream.
Okay, can you tell us more about it? Or
Yeah. So basically, I would be like, you know, like right now, people have like more of a soft heart when it comes to dogs and cats.
Mhm.
But when it comes to cows, pigs, I feel like they are more like forgotten. So it would be more like when they rescue animals from meat farms or like these things, then I would like to take care of them.
Yeah.
You know, it will not be an easy job, but it would be like something that I would be interested in.
Yeah.
And if I cannot like, let's say, take care of it because I would be traveling a lot or I don't know where I'm gonna be, I still would like to create it and then have people there working with me, you know, so that would be like nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. How is it to be vegan also on the tour? You are traveling so much.
Mm-hmm.
Is it hard, or did you get used to it, or is it really normal for you? And how do you deal with that? Because when you go to dinner, let's say in a feeder in WTT, you don't get much choice in the food. So yeah, how do you do it?
Well, I think it depends on the country. Because, for example, in Singapore, one time they even had vegan meat, which I was very surprised. Also, for example, in Sweden, they have a lot of options always in the tournaments. When they don't have, then I order food. I also normally like buy, let's say, like bread, hummus, like some like dried fruit or something before I go to a tournament in case like that I don't find a lot of things.
You have a full case of food before you go.
Maybe half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, normally I can eat. It's okay. I think the hardest places to find food would be in Asia.
Yeah.
But still, like, you know, they always have tofu, rice, you know, vegetables. So still, it's okay.
You always find a way.
I always find a way, yeah.
And you are, I mean, this is you, so you will for sure find a way. If you want to, you will find a way.
Exactly. I feel like when you want to do something, like, there is a way. And I've been doing it, I don't know, I became vegan maybe 2019. I've been doing it for almost 5 years now. And...
Yeah.
I'm okay, because
Yeah.
people sometimes are like, no, I cannot, because I will not have food here, but I've been doing it, and I've been going to the same countries that you have been going,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so you always find a way.
I tried to not eat meat only, only vegetarian, yes, not
Yeah.
vegan, but I felt like I missed something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was power, if it was, I don't know, but I missed something. I felt that. So if some people want to try it, do you have any recommendation when you start to stop to eat meat, or if you start to be vegan? Do you have
Yeah.
any recommendation?
Yeah, like when I started doing it, I started first of all trying the vegan meats, because I was a meat lover before. I was eating a lot of steak. I loved it before. So I started doing this, and then it was kind of like easier. And we have like there is like a substitute for everything, so like there is vegan cheeses, like everything, so like this. And then you like learn how to like play more with your food, like, you know, like getting your nutrients like in different ways.
Yes.
So I think like it's very, very nice.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for the advice. So now, what's your plan for later? What's your goal? Yes, you are 27. What's your plan for, I don't know, your 30s or in table tennis and outside of life? Do you have any goals you want to reach? And yes.
Well, to be honest, I only have table tennis goals, because with life, I feel like I keep creating goals when I see like how my life is like moving or where am I heading to, then I start like creating these goals. But I am more of a type of living the moment.
Yeah.
In this way. In table tennis, yes, of course, I want to keep being national team. I want to keep representing my country. I hope I can qualify for these Olympic Games. We also have Central American Games and Pan American Games, and there are like very big games for us. So of course, I hope like I can come back there and, you know, play my best for my country. And outside life, I will just keep enjoying, and who knows what will happen in 5-10 years.
Yeah. Keep your vibes. Good. I have one question. If you would give an advice to someone who has the same background like you, like you didn't have almost anything, no money, no racket, or what would you give for an advice to this person, to this maybe little kid?
So if it's a kid, I would say like, I think if you really want something and you start like finding ways to do it, life will help you, but you have to like really, really try. And like if you're a parent, then try to like help your kid in like everything, but especially listening to him or her or whatever, you know, because I feel like my parents were like the main reason why we're here. So if you're someone who want to like play in the future, then really like try all you can, like focus on training and give your best. And as a parent, trust in your kid and make them truly like believe that they can do it, because they will do it.
Yeah, that's good. Often in Europe more, I think we have some barriers, you know, we don't think that we can do it. I went once in New York and I felt there the vibes like you could be, you know, the new American dream or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, you are much more open to nice possibilities for the future. In Europe, sometimes we're a bit closing ourselves and maybe not believing enough, not dreaming enough. And I feel like your family had the opposite, you know, they could make you feel like good, like also in your skin, that you could follow your dreams actually, and not only you but your sisters and themselves. I think we, like as I said before, we learned it from our parents. Like they gave us the best example. My father was coach from a sport that was like not popular at all, and my mother, she was a mother of 4 already at 23 years old. So she left everything to pursue her dream of becoming a lawyer, and this also taught us a lot. Like we saw her how she was struggling to become a lawyer, so I think that helped us to believe that really dreams can come true. Thank you very much. So I have 2 questions from Instagram. So the first one is, do you have any idol? And
in table tennis?
I don't know, in any, like in life. And is Adriana your idol? That's the question.
Okay, so first of all, Adriana knows. After she beat Manu, I think it was, I grabbed her and I pulled her to one corner and I said, I'm your fan. I'm like your biggest fan. Like she was amazing. She has always been amazing. But every time I see her, she's like becoming this like more and more, like, I don't know, it's incredible for me to see her. I know like it's not only because I'm her sister, but I'm amazed when I see her play. It's amazing. And what she has done is truly like unbelievable for me and something like to be proud of. And I would say In table tennis, I was always a very big fan of Ding Ning.
Okay.
She was like my idol.
Yeah.
And outside, I would say Jane Goodall. I don't know if you know her, but she's a woman like who works with animals. She's also vegan. And my father showed her to me, actually. So
you know her?
No, like I've seen her her live like documentaries.
Okay.
So I've seen her work.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you had to play in another country, what country would it be?
In another country, like to represent.
Yeah.
I would pick Puerto Rico 1,000 times. I cannot imagine like better fans or a better country to represent, and not only like because I'm Puerto Rican, but it's just like we're a small country and we're here, you know. My sister is doing amazing stuff, and us as a team, I feel like as well, and I hope we keep doing many more.
Yeah. And last question is, you have pimple in the forehand, so why do you have it, and how it came, the idea to have it?
Well, I kept smashing everything, even though they were telling me to spin. So one time they just like, for fun, they gave me a racket and I beat one boy. So they said like, maybe let's try this for next tournament. And I tried it and I was playing amazing. So after this, I just like stayed with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good answer. Smashing.
Yeah. Yes.
Smashing around. I experienced it this morning. Okay. Well, we are done. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting me then.
Yeah, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed too.
I did.
Okay, ciao.
Bye.
If you like this episode and want to hear more, don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. You can also follow my Instagram page, On the Edge Table Tennis. See you soon!